Good evening, y'all. How are you doing? Well, I'm not allowed to use my intro anymore. Kind of got smacked for that. Got smacked for Benny Hill. Been clearing out the video from last night, all day, all night, and all day. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up. We've got Dorinda, Rocksteady, Red, Danny. It's good to see all of y'all. Yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff and I was like, I just quit. I quit YouTube. And then I got to thinking about it and I said, no, I'm not a quitter. So I got my warrior face on today and here we go. I just enjoy y'all too much. Can't do it. Black Watch, hey, I'm so glad to see all of y'all here every night.
Have you shut your YouTube off yet, Bonnie? Have you muted your YouTube yet, Bonnie? Your YouTube off yet, Bonnie?
I don't have a YouTube open.
Well, you're echoing like crazy.
I hear that. Okay, yeah. I have a YouTube open.
Well, you're echoing like crazy.
I hear that. Okay, yeah. I have a YouTube open.
Is everything okay now? I don't know.
Still?
Nope. It stopped.
That is so weird. There was nothing open and I
You
didn't
were
touch
echoing
anything.
from the minute you came on.
I am so sorry. I know that is like annoying as crap when you're down there.
Which is why I came
Sorry
up right
about
away. I was going to try to let somebody else come up, but I said, oh, I better go up and tell her.
that was weird. See, someone's trying to shut me up tonight and it ain't happening.
Ain't gonna happen. We need our Bonnie. And I was on David N's channel earlier today. And he had a lot of nice things to say about you, Bonnie. So if you get a chance, go watch his show from this afternoon.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, running my computer all day trying to get all the copyrights off of last night's show off. I didn't watch anything until LW tonight, and
well,
so I missed every bit.
I was on LW, but then I saw him pop on, so I went over to his, and then I clicked on YouTube, and you had your little thing up, and I'm like, ooh, 13 minutes, boom, boom, boom. So I went back to LW, but then I went, painting and whatever, and then I came here. And me and Rocksteady were having fun playing in the in the YouTube.
Cool.
I called him. I said, "Hey, Shift Kicker, get your butt up here." It wasn't Shift Kicker I wanted. It was Rock. But Shift was on David's show, and I got the name screwed up. So I did apologize to him and everything. He laughed at me. He thought it was funny.
Yeah, I
You
think
never know what
Rock,
I'm going to.
I think Rock
You
is a
never know
man
what I'm going to come out with.
and Shift is a woman. So
Mm.
there's a little difference there.
Well, yeah.
Yep. So how was your day?
Work was good.
Good.
Came home, did some jobs. Not many. Playing on a computer, doing painting, like watching for painting and stuff. Just doing my own thing here.
Awesome. Hey, Cindy.
I was trying to catch Hawk's show tonight, but I missed. No, I couldn't find him. I mean, I found him, but he wasn't on yet. And then I went to David's, and then I'm here, so I missed it.
So he's already been on?
I don't know. I'll check, see if he's on now.
I don't either. I hope we're not on at the same time. That's one that I don't want to.
It doesn't show that he was on today, so maybe
Oh,
something else came up. Hello,
yeah.
Cindy. Hello, Blackwatch.
And that's it. You never know.
Mhm.
It's a. Well, you saw what time I set it at. Because I mean, I was really like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And then I was like, yes, I am. Click.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you decided to do it. We would have missed you. Like, I know
Oh,
Gigi does 2 or 3 nights a week, but I never know when they are. I always look for you every day. Every single day, I look for you. And if
thank
Gigi's
you.
pops up, then it's like, oh, okay, it's Gigi. Okay. But I always look for you every day.
I appreciate that, Dorinda. And last night, when you were talking about, I kind of went back and watched a little bit of the beginning, and yep, they took down my intro, and you know what's so weird about that? The intro. Gigi made that for me. The music that I picked was off of a channel that YouTube approves non-copyrighted music. And for
Uh-huh.
the first time ever, you've seen how long I've been using that intro.
Yeah.
And and today it was nope, copyright on Rising Sun. I didn't even know what they meant at first. I thought, was it a song that Scotty sang, or what what is the Rising Sun? And then they showed my intro and I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
And it really stinks because I like YouTube, but they sure are getting crappy to people.
Yep, they are. Because
And
the
I'm
government's telling them to.
Yeah, but I'm
Because
just little bitty here. I'm not
Mhm.
organizing what I should be. I'm
Yeah, but
not.
we're talking. We're talking,
Yes,
and they don't. That's why they got this, because they don't want you to talk. That's why they got you 6 feet apart, because they don't want you to talk.
that's true. Yeah.
So us being on here talking, you
And that's
know,
what I was getting at. What you were talking about last night. You did so good. You just came up with those answers like boom, 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 and but what you said was so true and made perfect sense, and I appreciate that.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you. And Black Watch, it was Bonnie that was making the grilled cheese sandwich, not me. So you got that wrong. So maybe she's sitting on it because I didn't have grilled cheese sandwich. Right? You were making it for the baby, right?
And that's it. I'm always making great. Yes. Yeah. And
Well,
red, I'm afraid it
I
might
went to
get
the dollar
worse
store
too.
today.
But we're gonna keep on rolling.
So I went to the dollar
D-Dog.
store today. Hey, D-Dog.
Yes.
And look what I bought.
What the heck is that? Wait.
It's to be honest, it's My Little Pony, but I just thought it was too cute. And I thought for headbanging night, it'd be freaking awesome. And I also bought
Priceless.
I also bought some cool sparkly shiny glasses.
That's great, Dorinda.
Oh,
Leave it
boy.
to you.
And I got these sunglasses for disco night.
Oh, those are cute.
Like, God almighty, I can't go into the dollar store and not buy shit now for disco night or bad hair night. And damn it, I miss my bad hair nights. But on David's channel, John came on and said the wait may not be as long as we think it will be. And then Dr. Rob Allen come on, but they didn't talk about big hair night. So hopefully John will come and we can ask him more questions.
I don't know.
They both had to leave to have their supper, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just finished mine a minute ago, and I overdid it.
What did you have for supper?
I always overdo the meat. That sounds bad, but I like beef, and it just like sits there like a rock.
So what kind of beef did you have?
It was the last of my T-bone.
Oh yeah.
Love them T-bones. Boy, I don't know. Filet, filet mignon is pretty good too.
Yeah. My father was Scottish from Scotland. Cindy.
Scottish.
So sometimes the accent has a way of coming out, especially if I get excited. And I'm usually always excited on your show.
I think my great grandmother was on my mother's side was Scottish. She had the auburn hair and
I don't know what color my dad's hair was. It was gray. It was always gray. Maybe it was dark. I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't remember.
But she's one that I never got to meet. I was named after her, but didn't get to meet her.
Oh. The only other Bonnie I've ever known besides you is my cousin Bonnie. And we always hung around together. Well, and we fought like cats and dogs too, because we'd get into this mood where we wanted to argue.
Mm-hmm.
And you get two girls 6 months apart that get in that mood to argue, and they'll argue black is white, or one is two and two is three. It didn't
Right.
matter what we were arguing about. We would argue for hours and drive her mother and father crazy. Oh, Black Watch, here we go again.
He's such a mess. And that's when I went to look at the video from yesterday. It didn't show me any of the chat. Hey, Michigan girl. So I don't know if that comes back later after they get done approving everything. I don't know. But hopefully it'll show the chat, because you and I were answering questions, but we don't. If you can't see the chat, you don't know what the questions were or what we were laughing about, or
Yeah, it makes it
any.
kind of hard, eh?
Yeah.
Hello, Michigan girl.
Actually, my great grandmother that I was named after, her birth name was Bonella Louisa. So
Oh,
my name could have been totally different, but she hated that name so much that she changed it to Bonnie Louise.
oh, wow.
But my middle name's not Louise. And then my mother, playing with her dolls, she's always said when she had her daughter, she was going to name her Bonnie. So there I came.
Black Watch is asking you if you edited the video.
I did, hun.
Okay, then he says you might have lost chat.
The whole chat? I hope not. Excuse me. I don't know. Um, hey, Texas Red Light, good to see you.
Hello,
I
Texas
had
Red Light.
I had to trim out. I had to trim out my intro, and I had to trim out the
Benny Hill.
Benny Hill. Yeah.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. All Black Watch is saying is if you edit a video, all chat is gone.
Well,
Oh, well. People will just be going, what the hell are they talking about?
we'll just look like a couple of loons up there laughing at.
Well, that's fine. I don't give
I
a
don't care.
rat's ass. Anybody that knows the two of us together, okay,
Right.
know that I'm going to get crazy and stupid, because that's what I do. And I laugh and giggle at everything. And I talk, and yeah. So they'll just say, oh, she's just at it again. She's just being herself.
And Scotty's music will still be up there, and you missed that, didn't you?
No. When he came on after I left, I stayed up and watched him sing his song.
Oh, okay.
I was still chatting and chat, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to bed, really. And I left then. But I did listen to his song. I was like rocking. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I was having a grand old time sitting here.
Oh, he did more than one.
Well, I
He
only heard the first one because then I went to bed.
Yeah. He said he was only going to do one, and he did. Well, in fact, I was like, okay, I need to close up now. Okay, one more. One more. One more.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
But it was great. It was great. And that's why I invited him over here. I had heard him playing on, I think it was Jeremy the Jester.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked if he would come over here and play sometime because this is a campfire and
Mm-hmm.
we love music and can't play any. And so he showed up last night and that was great.
That was awesome. Yeah, so I did watch the one, and then I did not get back to watch the video today.
Yeah.
I was watching the Freedom Convoy mostly and political shit about Canada today. So that's kind of where I was at. The House of Commons is really tearing Trudeau apart.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. That's good.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, Blackwatch, you're too funny.
What's he selling? The chat.
The transcript of the video chat, $29.99 FOB. And if you're paying with a credit card, add 3%.
That's something I want to tell all of y'all. Okay. And anybody, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But in listening to other channels and hello, the People's Code.
Hello, People's Code.
And then hearing what they're saying. Okay. Once you become monetized, you at the bottom of your chat, there's a little $sign down there, right? For
Yeah.
super chat. Okay. So super chats go in. Well, YouTube's going to take their share.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good amount. I can't remember exactly how much it is.
I thought it was about 30%.
I can't remember, but even 30% is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so hey Camo, how are you? If you're going to do donations to someone that is needing help in the community, try to get it to them directly, personally, so that none of those extra charges are taken out, because the full amount of donations will not happen.
Yep.
And I don't think a lot of people know this, but in watching this whole year and listening to so many channels and everything, that's my understanding, is that I think even the taxes are taken out at the same time or something.
I don't know. I think maybe you got to take the taxes out after, but who knows?
Blackwatch just said it here in the United States.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's taxed in Canada too, because they like their money.
Freaking government taxes everything.
Hello, Slow Country. Hello, Camel Carl. Wolverines.
Hey.
Hey, country.
Hi.
Hey, Chuck.
What's going on, Camo?
How's it going?
There's a lot going on. You're just not going to see it just anywhere, though.
What you seeing?
Yeah, I just
Tell
went
me
outside.
about it.
It looks like somebody ripped my flag down, the small flagpole sticking out from the house. It's one of the small ones in a bracket, but it was broke down. The metal was, and maybe the wind did. It was more, I'm thinking somebody jerked it down.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
People are so...
Vicky goes, I'll beat their ass. I said, I'll put lead in their ass.
Chuck,
Yep.
those O-ring cameras are so inexpensive. I'm gonna have them everywhere. out there at my mom's.
Yeah, I want to get them too. That way you can always see what direction something, you hear something or whatever.
Exactly. Okay, Camel Carl, hit us
All
with the
right.
news.
Did you hear about Trump's first post on Truth Social?
No.
No.
It says, this was today. It says, get ready. Your favorite president will see you soon.
Yes.
Whoa.
All right. Did you hear about another CNN executive stepping down?
No.
No.
Allison Galost resigns from CNN. All right. Did you hear about the Honduras ex-president being arrested and is going to be extradited to the Americas for crimes, drug crimes?
Wow.
Did
So
you hear
that
about the
can-
calls for the criminal prosecution of Hillary Clinton over the Durham probe?
Yeah.
No.
There's a lot going on. They're just not telling us about it. You got to go
Yeah.
looking for it.
They were talking about on one of the news networks. It wasn't Fox or none of them. It was like RT News or OAN. They mentioned that.
Well, I knew that it was coming out, but you said execution?
No,
Is that
what are you talking about?
No.
The Honduras ex-president?
No. HCR.
Oh, they're
HRC.
calling for the criminal prosecution of her.
Prosecution. Okay. Woo. Y'all just
You're getting
forget
ahead
I
of the
said
game now. First you got to try them, or you can kill them.
Right.
Hello, shit kicker.
Strike that remark.
Hello, slow country. Hello, second star survival.
Hi, Second Star Survival.
Hey, y'all.
Here, I'm going to post a link in the chat so everybody can see it.
Hello, Danny G.
Oh, well, wouldn't you know it? It's gone.
Eh,
Hold on. I'll find it somewhere else. There we go. All right. There you go. Right there.
I did see that Turdo walked out of the whatever you call
House of
Like-
Parliament.
House of Parliament. Thank you. Because they were all yelling at him for that emergency thing.
Oh, yeah. They're pissed.
Yeah, I watched it. It's real. That happened. Just like Russia's backing off the border of the Ukraine. It
Yes.
seems like everything they go to do gets either blocked or stopped or something's going on. Every time they try to pull something.
I don't know.
Yep.
I was watching Lee Wheelburger a few minutes ago, and they ain't backing out. They're moving in. Matter of fact, somebody sent a video of people with tanks coming in.
Yeah, that could have changed, but what I saw was 6 hours ago.
Yeah, this was 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago. I was watching.
Hello, Benjamin.
I don't know if you watched Lee Wheelburger or whatever his name is.
I
I
do.
do. I watch him once. I usually leave that live going and check back on it.
Yeah. He's a firefighter, and is he a veteran also?
Yeah.
Seems like
Yeah,
Yes.
y'all-
he's pretty straightforward, and that's what I like about him. He don't take no crap.
and he said, "Don't listen to Monkey." He said, "Monkey don't know half of what this panel knows."
Well, I can say something about that because I've been getting a lot of air traffic over me, and every time the air traffic's over me, it doesn't show up on that radar. So a lot of good it's doing you anyway.
Oh wow.
And yes, shift kicker, the Ottawa chief of police resigned today.
Yes. And I actually have a video. I wonder if I mute it, if I can show it. No, I don't want to mute it. They're just singing. So it
Was
should
he-
be okay to show it, right?
Was he a good guy or
You're
a bad
cracking
guy?
up a bit there, Bonnie.
Am I
To be
still-
honest, I'm not sure if he was a good guy or a bad guy. All the Parliament guys all said he was a good guy, so that means he's a bad guy. Okay, that's my personal opinion. He came out yapping really tough and whatever with the protesters, but the only thing his
Tracy.
guys did was take their gas.
So he's an opportunist, basically.
I think so, yeah. Hey, Gigi. It's good to see you, Camel.
Well, thank you. Good to see you too.
Well, Dorinda, I guess I'm going to have to do everything you did to your computer because mine's just.
Okay, what I did was I deleted the history. I went offline and deleted the history. And I defragged
Mhm.
my system. And then I came back and it was good.
Squirrels. Really, they're chipmunks. That should help a lot, Bonnie. Especially if you're running an older rig.
Well, it's not that old.
Hello, Tennessee Ridge Runner.
It's less than 4 years old,
Yeah, but you should
but it
delete your
is
history.
time to.
Yeah, you should delete your history every day, but I don't.
The way
And,
technology is, by the time you take it out of the box, it's obsolete.
yeah, for sure.
Not only
Well,
that,
that's
Bonnie, but
true.
it helps if you don't watch too much porn on it.
Well, you know. No, but
heard
I
it from Devil
do.
Dog.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
do
watch-
so much research on it. I'm sure I do need to clear out a lot. And you know that favorites bar? Oh my gosh. Like,
why-
Mine, it's the bookmark bar. I've got about 1,000 to go on the bookmark on my other hard drive again. Remember I
See,
did
and I
that
bought
about a
that.
month ago? Yeah, I got another 1,000 I got to put on my other drive.
We're bad. I bought that thing. I'm going to have to hook it up. I'm going to remember to do that tomorrow. Hook it up and just back up everything and then wipe out everything. Start fresh.
Hey, John,
Hey, John.
John. Chip kicker.
hey,
Slow
Jim.
country.
See, you called shift kicker in.
I went live at noon today, and hell, you got to beg folks to get up on there. I don't like being up there with nobody else, and nothing really to talk about.
Well, I was
God
at
damn
work,
it.
so I
Chuck,
missed it.
Chuck, give it time.
I
I'd have come up there. I just couldn't at the time.
Yeah, I know you said you was at work or something. So.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was at
working.
work, and I'm at work tomorrow. So Friday I can watch you.
Mr. Colton Benjamin, good to see y'all. I am.
Thursday and Friday I
See,
can watch you.
I wasn't able to watch anything today, and well, okay, I probably could have watched it on my phone, but I was like, I didn't want to watch. I was quitting YouTube completely. No watching, no doing, no nothing. I was in a bad place.
Something
And
pissed you off today or
so,
something?
well,
she
it was
got-
last night.
She got
And-
dinged on her intro last night, and she got dinged on her Benny Hill one.
Benny Hill.
But
Yeah.
her intro pissed her off.
Hey, now I just got a notice that Bonnie went live.
Just now, huh?
So that means I'll
See?
get mine in the morning when the mail runs.
And so I didn't watch anything today, but Chuck, I will be tomorrow. I'll be watching and Anna Marie, and because I
I
know
even
how it
went and
is.
checked to see what time 12 Central was in my time zone. It's 1 o'clock in my time zone. But tomorrow I work till 2, so it'll be the next day I'll be able to watch it. I'll come up and bug you. Hello,
But I
David
know
Ann.
how it is trying to sit up there and talk, and you're by yourself, and there's no. It's so much easier when you have people on panel that you can talk to,
Hello,
and
Anna
it
Marie.
makes more sense when it's rewatched also, because you can hear the whole conversation. That's what Blackwatch was telling me a while ago, because I trimmed the video from last night. He said that it would take out the whole chat. So that makes me mad, because no one's going to see what the chat was saying that we were answering to. And David, it's good to see you here. Thank you for coming.
Can you just imagine a real free speech platform? I kind of almost forget what it was like.
No, because we've all learned all the code words and we're trying. Dorinda doesn't have a
Well,
filter.
Rumble's pretty good. I've been
No,
on
it goes in here and comes out there.
I've been on Rumble a while, and I go up on Rage of the Cage. He has those, and I said all kinds of words in chat, and nothing ever came of it.
Well, the Rumble is not letting him go live anymore, so he's pissed off at Rumble.
No.
But he was quite comical yesterday.
Yes, I'd like to be able to send him a bottle of scotch.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he was very emotional and everything also, but he was angry.
Well, Dorinda, he's tuned in a lot finer than a lot of people are, and everything that he feared, he thinks is happening right in front of his eyes.
Yep.
It's getting to him, and I understand why.
Yep.
Just got to hang in there a little longer because things are in motion.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying 10. When I was on there earlier, so whenever 10 a.m. over there, 10 and 10 is. Earlier they were saying 7 hours, so I don't know how long ago that was. I was in there, an hour or two. So between 5 and 6 hours, they say shit's going to hit the fan over there. And
something's brewing, people. I'm telling you right now, there's stuff brewing.
I'm talking about over in Ukraine. I don't know, and I'm thinking something's going to happen in Canada too. The way a lot of people are talking.
I've heard just recently in the last 24 hours from 3 different sources that people who are close to the military or in a military family have been told to be ready.
Is that in the United States or in Canada or both?
That's in the United States. I don't know anybody active in service in Canada right now.
Okay.
Crap.
I'll be right back.
Or is it good? Because I don't know what it is. I
don't either. Okay, this is positivity. We're going to be positive. We are fixing to take back our country.
Well, I'm with you on that. I don't know, Anna. That's something to look into. I know he can't send it.
Bonnie, look up. I used to use System Mechanic a lot. I need to update it again, re-put it on, but I normally keep it on my computer. System Mechanic does a good job of cleaning everything up.
System Mechanic, yes. I have used that. Okay. Since I unplugged, it's doing it again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're a little glitchy. You're a little glitchy, and that's with a G.
Yep. Thank you. That it wasn't with a B.
Just covering all my bases. In case it bleeped out on you and all you heard was itching.
See, I hear y'all perfectly clear. It's only when I talk that y'all are getting the.
Well, that's because you have the Patriot package. You get free glitches, trolls, bots, and censorship.
Yep. The whole deal. $19.95 a month.
What are you chewing
Zombie.
on, Chuck?
Eating mixed nuts, trying to chew it with the two back teeth I have.
It looked like he was working at it. That's why I thought it was pistachios or something.
Yeah, I got a hold of one of them Brazil nuts, and it was like, yeah.
Most people say.
We all went incognito. All I got to watch now is Chuck.
I'm used to it. I did it for an hour. I was the only one. Then I finally went off video. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see the video, and I didn't even think it was an hour you were on. Was that really a whole hour?
Yeah, 58 minutes or something like that.
Well, time flies when you got nothing better to do.
I was impressed with the amount of people. It got to a top of 15. So, and then I felt even worse. Nobody got up there when Pappy got up there, but his connection started dropping. I thought I could con D-Dog into getting up there, but he wouldn't.
I miss D-Dog. He hasn't been here lately either. Up on him.
He said he's tired of all our bullshit.
I seen him today. He was in a panel today. I watched. He was at in a Canadian panel. I mean, California.
Oh, so he's
Still doing
picking
it?
favorites now.
He's still spilling the same schmeal.
Yeah. I'm just playing with him saying that. I know he's not picking favorites. Yeah. He's a busy man.
I know he's agitated that more people ain't sticking up for their rights.
Yep.
Yes.
No, Cam's life.
Well,
in reality, it's better for D-Dog to get around a little more instead of staying in the same circle.
Yes.
Yep.
That's spread the word.
That's what I started. My stream is somewhere anybody and everybody can go talk about whatever. I just don't want to hear nobody talking down to nobody or about anybody.
You can't say that no more. They're going to come on there with all kinds of stuff you're not supposed to be talking about. This platform is ridiculous. I cannot wait for these new ones to come out and just wipe these old ones right off the map. This is going to be barren as old. What was that? My Life, or what was the other one that there's just nobody there?
Yep.
That other one before Facebook wasn't My Life. What was the other one?
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah, that thing's as barren as a wasteland. That's what Facebook and YouTube are going to look like once these new platforms open up. And yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that won't believe it till they see it, but I got to have some faith.
Well, I wish I could get back into MySpace just to get my pictures, because that's where all my pictures of my kids are. And I have no clue what any of it was. That was too many years ago.
Went in there years ago and cleaned it out. killed it.
Yep. Well, you were smart.
Sometimes.
I always think they're going to last forever, and then whoops, nope. I need to. That's why I got that backup thing for Facebook to clear out all the pictures, because we've got really old family pictures in there that I don't want to lose.
We already backed that up too. There's a way you can go in there and dump all your photos into your hard drive.
Facebook,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just blew it up. Delete it. Gone. Go. They pissed me off the last time. They want to pick on me. I'm like, I sent them a nice little letter too, and I said, if you really want to show your dominance, won't you come to my house?
Well, I'm still there, but I'm also on, let's see, D Live and Telegram and Rumble and Parler and Getter. And let's see, I think I'm missing one or two.
I've joined a bunch of them. The only ones I never got on like Twitter. I'd get on it to read other people's stuff, but I never had an account.
Goodness, y'all are all into that. I think the only other thing I have, I'm on Podbean, and that's it.
I've been on that before. I mean, you'll find things like on Telegram that you're not going to find it nowhere else. You have to have a selection now to know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, I told you a long time ago, Bonnie, that I've been digging through this shit since 9/11. So
Yeah.
I ought to have snow white hair and just be shaking here with a cup of coffee in my hand, but
Doing the blue, 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 blue.
Oh, there it's bees.
wearing one of
You're
them.
far from alone, Chuck.
Huh?
You're far from being alone.
All it did is make me not trust anything. Because even movies, I can't watch a show on TV that I'm like, they can't possibly believe that's stupid. These people got to be ignorant. It's like, how many cop shows do you know that a cop will let somebody walk up on them and then take their gun? I'm like,
Well, that's when you got to ask yourself, do you really need those shows? Because I don't watch TV. I haven't had a TV since like 2008 or 2009. I don't need no TV, and I choose what I watch around here. You know.
I got it on here now,
Yeah.
but it's on the Discovery Channel and it's on the ID network for those murder porn shit.
But Chuck, I'm telling you, I was like that, like blah, and get in the Word. That's where I find my peace, is just talking to God, and every night turn on that Pandora with the Christian music. It plays all night long while I'm sleeping. It's just, you gotta find that peace, and that's where you're gonna get the peace. Remember, it's God, family, and then
Country.
work, country, yes,
Yeah.
whatever you
God,
may
family,
think it is.
your sheriff, your
To me,
county,
it's God,
your
family,
state.
country. Yes.
And family to me is family and friends. Well, the ones you got left, because one could be as bad as the other. So
Well,
I try to
anybody that I consider a close friend is family.
Yep.
I
I'm
try
all
to
right.
make amends with them, but I've cut ties with some people. I don't hate them, and I'll talk to them and all that. But I think shit hit the fan. A few of them, I'd be like, nope.
Chuck, I've become an expert at loving people from a distance.
Yep.
Hello, Patrick Kelly.
My daughter, one of my daughters, or my only daughter, my oldest, she's the opposite of me. Basically, the way she looks at things, and she even said that I brainwashed her mama. And Me and her mama both are scared to death because she's had 3 or if there's 4 of those things for the kufi out there, she's got them. They say one's up. She's one of them people that gets in line.
You know, I think one of the hardest things for good people to understand is there's a lot of people out there that just want to watch the world burn. All
Yeah.
right?
Watch the world burn.
Yep. There's a lot of them that want they're that way. They're that chaotic.
Oh,
Basically, if they were a kid, they'd burn somebody's house down and sit there and eat ice cream and watch it.
They get, you know, satisfaction out of creating drama or seeing others suffer. And for somebody like us to understand that, it's pretty difficult because I know your mind never goes there, but others do. And there's a couple generations below us that have been encouraged to act that way, not in just school, but in everything they know, in all the entertainment, in the music, everything that they've experienced. That's where it leads them, and that's where they usually
Exactly.
stay.
Cartoons
And-
have taught them
I saw where they did a study in the prisons, and like almost all of them sociopathic. Is that what they call it?
that.
Sociopath or psychopath or something. And so you're thinking, okay, how is there so many people with this? Where it's weird how they come up with these things. Like,
It's bred into
I mean,
them.
yeah,
And
like my youngest daughter being autistic. I never heard of that until a couple of years before she was born. And so I kind of started looking into it to see what it was. So thankfully, I recognized the signs after she was born. She was about 2 when I started really noticing it. But so when they started saying that they thought that there was a link to that and the
Hokies.
jabs that they were getting back then, I was kind of like, you know, that really wouldn't surprise me. But it's
Nope.
funny how 30% of the children are diagnosed with autism. That's a big chunk of children there.
If you go back through history and look too, back in the last 100 years, every time they introduced new ones that came out, there was a big rash of kids with issues.
Yeah.
I fully believe this has all been engineered.
Yep.
It's like what's that guy? Idiocracy, the movie. You ever seen it? If you haven't seen it, Carl, look it up and watch it.
I'll put it on the list. I get a lot of people telling me I need to see a lot of stuff, but just you know, if I'm going to watch a movie, it's going to be something old, probably.
This is probably 20 years old. It's not old, but this is Idiocracy is about how they've dumbed down everything and bred everybody stupid and introduced all the junk to them and junk eating and how people progress over, well, I think it was 300 or 500 years in the movie. But anyway, these people get put in cryo and supposed to be let out of cryo in I forget how many years. I want to say it was 50 or 100 years. And they get forgotten about because society became so stupid.
Sounds like reality, not fiction.
Yeah, watch it. It looks like the Biden administration.
Well, here's what I think, right? And I don't know, like, I'll do a recent example. I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but if you just scroll down your Facebook feed, how many sad-looking, one-legged critters do you see? How many disabled critters do they put on your feed? They fill mine with it. It's almost like they're trying to bring me down. You know, the entertainment. If you go into a Hulu or a Netflix or anything, you look at the selection of movies and see how many of them have a dark undertone to them. Where's the positive, feel good, the good guy wins type movies? They even took all the superheroes and altered that. There's it's just not allowed for something positive minded to be put out there too much. It's just full of monster movies and horror movies and disaster movies, and it's all about fear, man. They want to instill fear in people so they can control them.
Yeah, and then you got the movies that are all about racism and sexism and dysphorias. And,
The entertainment industry is part of this whole mechanism.
But do you remember when we were kids, the movies that were scary to us? The vampire movies and Frankenstein and the Dracula movies. But they never showed, it wasn't blood gushing everywhere. And if you were watching a Western movie and they got shot, you didn't see blood gushing everywhere. Our kids have been desensitized
they
to
normalize
all of that now.
normalize devastation.
Yep.
Yes.
I have no satisfaction. I get no entertainment out of video games killing things. You know, I just don't. And
No.
it's just something that's just too far for me to understand, for myself. Whatever, if somebody's into that, so be it. But even on Facebook again, they show these video games where it's just little cute little people going around slaughtering as many of each other as they can.
Wow.
Yeah.
If they die, they got to redo. That's what they think. That's why these kids kill themselves. They think it's like the game.
Well, we know they indoctrinated a lot of people. We know they altered a lot of people. Just how are we going to get out of this? I mean, even if the tide does switch, like I know it's gonna, still going to have a lot of leftover people that just aren't for it. There's going to be something. There's going to be some kind of issue.
It's bad about a lot of the stuff. You can boat your way into it, but you got to bleed your way out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Marie, that's cool. A little over $1 a piece from Sundrop. You ever had Sundrop up there, Dorinda?
No.
It's kind of like Mountain Dew 50-50 Squirt. You ever heard of Squirt?
No.
That's a grapefruit soda. 50-50 and Squirt. Mom and Dad used to use when I was a kid. They made highballs with it, mixed drinks and stuff.
Do you remember the first Mountain Dew bottles where it had the hillbilly chasing the other hillbilly around the bottle with a shotgun?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
If you can find the ones with real sugar in it, I think it's got the original picture on the label.
Those sell pretty good. I get $5 a piece for the good ones.
Hello, Jessicati.
Yeah, we just didn't even scratch the surface of all that. They even changed all the history that they taught us when we were young.
Yep.
Shit, they changed the definition of words.
They demonize everything that's good and kill off everything that's, bad, or the opposite. They demonize everything good and they kill off everything good.
Yeah.
What do you want before I jump in the shower?
You need to put your mom's, someone get somebody put their clothes in the dryer.
I asked you and Andrew to do that.
You ask him to do it, and you make the tea. Sorry about that, y'all.
No problem.
Well, that was riveting entertainment. Oh, he muted. We're not privy to the conversation anymore. He muted it.
No, it's not muted.
He's all, just mouth it. That's what I do with the girls. I'm live. And they'll be sitting there and I'm trying to read their lips. And it's like, I can't read lips.
Well, if you ain't got your glasses fixed, be lucky you see them, huh?
Yeah. That's what we didn't do today, dadgummit.
Just Scotty. Roadhouse and Van Halen, Jump. You asked what movie and what album. If you were
Van
stuck on a desert island, what movie and album would you want?
My Name Is Nobody. It'd be the movie, and Van Halen, Diver Down.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears first album, and probably Jeremiah Johnson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that movie. Remember the movie back in the late 60s that came out with that guy that was so fast he'd slap the people and then draw their gun, stick them in their face, holster them back, and slap them again before they even knew what he did.
Oh, that's a foreign film. I know what you're talking about.
It was
all like,
a Western, but it was.
Oh, Western.
It's a foreign Western series. I know exactly. He had a big guy that always hung out with him, and the guy you're talking about is blonde.
Yeah, he looked kind of like Gene Wilder, but he wasn't.
Yeah, that'll come to me later when I don't need it. I know who you're talking about.
That and that cowboy movie where that one guy was the town drunk and him and his horse both were leaning against the wall of the bar on the outside.
Cat Ballou.
Yep. I used to watch all that stuff with my dad as a kid. Every Sunday they'd come on if he was home.
Cat Ballou was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's kind of like a musical comedy Western.
It fits right in with the Clint Eastwood stuff and
Okay.
John Wayne stuff. It's a kind of. Do you remember back in the 60s and 70s on Sunday they'd have the Western shows on the regular TV on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday?
Chuck, are you talking to me?
Another good one, Scotty.
We didn't watch TV.
Paint Your Wagon's got a fight scene where they're on the muddy hill where everybody fights everybody. It's hilarious.
Excuse me. The only movies and stuff that I've seen have been since I grew up. We did everything we could to get out of the house, and so TV was not something we wanted to sit and do.
Daddy was a truck driver, so when he was in town, and he'd take one day and just chill at the house, and usually it was a Sunday, and that's all I got to hang out with. He didn't care nothing about football or baseball. He liked fishing and stuff like that, but his chill out day, I'd hang out with him and watch movies.
Yep. Only thing we came in the house for was to eat.
And you were the remote control.
Yeah, other than that, like you're talking about, from the time I got up in the morning and went to school till I went to bed, I was usually outside.
Yep.
Yes. I don't care if it was 35 degrees. We were out there playing football, basketball, riding bikes, whatever.
I attached a piece to my curtains in my bedroom so that I could sneak back out of the house when I was supposed to be in bed and go play hide and seek with the kids on the street. I would take my curtain and I would throw it out at the tree and it would hook onto the tree. And I'd climb down the tree. I'd go play. I'd come back up, shimmy across, go back to my room, go to bed.
Yeah, I had 2 rules away when I had to be in. One was street light comes on, my ass better be in the yard, or Mama whistled. She had a loud whistle, and I had like 10 or 20 seconds to whistle back because I could whistle like she could. If she didn't hear the whistle, she's getting the keys and hunting me, and then it was an ass whooping wherever she found me.
Yes, Anna Marie Kimball. I remember the movie Billy Jack.
Yeah,
It's a very good movie.
Tell her to get some.
Crystal, I'm sorry I did not see you down there.
It's
It was
okay.
2 good movies.
Hey,
Dorinda.
everyone. Hey, everyone in chat. How are
Hey
y'all?
there.
Billy Jack was 2 good movies, Dorinda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Billy
the last
Jack.
time I seen him was in a drive-in in the early 70s.
I have to write all these down. I've never, I mean, like, I've seen John Wayne and Clint Eastwood and maybe a few others, but y'all seem to know all the good movies. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know,
wanted to
Bonnie.
be.
My mom was like, if it's sunny outside, your butt's outside. You ain't gonna sit up under a TV till you come in and get ready to go to bed and watch so little.
90% of the time growing up, I was either in the woods or at the creek or both.
We were allowed to watch MASH in the evenings because when the street lights came on, we had to
Cowboy.
come in the
Look at
house.
what conservative cowboy just put in chat. Now everybody been speculating. He sure does look like him. And there
Yep.
sure were circumstances it could have been true.
Oh yeah, he is.
His
Last-
mother was a tramp.
Yeah, she was a floozy.
Last year, I seen some pictures of him as a child, and then they had pictures of Cat as a child, and he looked a lot like him.
Wow.
Now let's find
Well,
out
that
about
says
Merkel.
Hey, Michelle.
Merkel.
Yeah.
That's Hitler's daughter or
They
granddaughter.
say. That's what they say.
And does that bloodline lead to Bama?
Yeah, that's part of the Rothschild people.
Yep.
But does it lead to Bummer? You know who I mean? 43.
Talking about Bummer.
Yes.
Well,
Talking
now
about
I'm gonna have
Michael's.
to verify because
Talking
I
about
did
Michael's
see where,
wife.
I
Wait.
did see where they said this a few days ago that it might be, but conservative cowboy just made it sound like they're confirming that it is. So now I'm
Yeah.
going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Bummer's mama is related to him.
That's what I had heard.
And both of those kids ain't theirs either. How can a man and a man have a baby?
This don't work.
No.
Little turd babies.
I was just, oh, Lord.
That's like, what do they call her? The vice president. I'll just say that. She can't run for president either because she is not of this country. She was born here, but she still had citizenship somewhere else, I think. Or her parents did. They were just over here on a visa or something.
Yeah, her parents weren't citizens.
Talking about the second here now. The vice.
Camel toe.
The vice president now.
They're
Camel
India
toe.
or something. They're India or something. She wasn't born here. She was brought here, from what I understand.
Right.
She
Oh, and then
can be the president. Should be in the position she's in.
Then there was that one that was in some position up there that was married to her brother to be
Yeah,
able to.
AOC, ain't it?
No,
No,
No.
the other one, the one in Michigan or wherever, ain't it?
Oh yeah, I know who you're. I can't remember her name.
She's one of the white gown wearers that was wearing all them white outfits back a year or so ago, 2 years ago. Part of the crew or whatever they call them.
the squad.
Yeah, she's a card carrying toter of the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah, what's her name? I can't think of her name. She's a comedian and she was a smart ass.
Not
Was she a
Talib.
bartender too, or was
She
that
died.
AOC?
AOC was a Hooters girl.
I can
But-
see her. I can picture it all. I know about everything you're saying, and I can't pull her name out of the attic.
She's that irrelevant. That's why. What was that woman's name? That she was a comedian and she was having facelift surgery or something, and that reporter caught her going up the steps to her doctor's office, and she.
You're talking about Joan Rivers.
Yeah, Joan Rivers calling Big Mike a tranny and
Then dying shortly later.
Yeah.
Bummer was the biggest receiver in the group that they were in.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, Chuck, there's a picture of both of them when they were young.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And the problem with that is there's an original and then there's an enhanced one. And in fact, they didn't even have to enhance it. And that's where, you know, you go look that photo up, you're going to probably find the fake one first. Keep looking. You'll find the real one. Compare the two. You'll see the differences.
I don't think there's been a legitimate president for I don't know how long.
Reagan, I think, was the last.
We're going to find out all in due time.
Yeah, because there's more about that going around again. Stuff that's stirring up again.
Someone said 3: Washington, Reagan, and Trump. Or maybe they said they were the only 3 elected, not selected.
It's like what he just posted in chat again. This stuff is happening constantly. I'm getting news like this 2-3 times a day. You know, put it all together. Something's going on, and it ain't going to be good for the bad guys.
Yes.
I still think this Truth Social is timed perfectly for disclosure. Now, let me get it out quick. I just think this Truth Social, the timing of that coming out on the 21st, which is 6 days away, is perfect for disclosure. All right, all this stuff is happening right now. Now, if there's a platform where everybody can talk freely, including the people who have this information, and they dump it all, they're going to have to shut down the whole internet to shut them off, you know? And if what I think's already happened, they won't have it off for long.
Yeah.
I believe we're going through a Red Sea moment.
Yeah, Camel Toe, she's been on her knees in more government buildings than anybody that's been around in any of them buildings. She literally
Her ratings are worse than
worked her way to
Head.
the top. Yeah, Anchor Baby, yeah. She was born here, but her parents were from another country. I didn't think she was born on U.S. soil. I thought it was overseas or something, but she was in. It happened at what do you call it? A hospital that the military had.
I don't think 44 or 43, whatever. Well, both. Whatever.
Talking about an infirmary?
I don't think he was at all. I think that was all faked.
Yeah, he got off quick, got out of that seat I don't remember if it's senator or Congress or whatever what he was in, but he wasn't in it but a couple months, and that was paid for.
No, that was
Just
president.
tackle those.
Yeah, I was talking about he was Senate, and he went straight from that Senate or Congress or whatever, and he went straight into, ooh, he's popular. I don't know where.
Tackle toe. There you go. I don't know, but yes, there is a lot coming out, and it's all for the good for us. But will anything be done? I still, that's my question, because
I'm sure it'll have to be done, Bonnie. Something will have to be done.
that's what you would
You
think.
guys,
But
it's what it is everybody has seen all these crimes and nothing happens. So it's a natural place
yes,
to think like that. There, you know, but also you got to know that all these things are going to come to a head and an end. All right.
Yeah.
At some point, I can't wait to get up on a panel with people like you when we're winning. All right. And it's obvious we're winning. That's what I'm waiting for because I know it's coming.
yes,
This is
Yep,
any
it's coming.
any and all of us have endured a bunch of letdowns and dates that never came true, and all these things have happened. Just hang in there. It's going to be glorious.
It's in God's time, not our time.
You know, I'm behind you on that, but I also know that God gave men free will. And if you sit there and don't do nothing about nothing, you're not going to get nowhere. And anyways, you know, God. I say
Yeah.
God provides for me because I have everything I need. I got food, got whatever I need, but I work for it. And when I mean He provides for me, He provides the work for me. He provides the ability to go do the work. I don't believe that just sitting there and praying is going to do much. I mean, it can't
no,
hurt,
No.
but
He
you got
expects
to.
you to do part. He expects you to do the part you're supposed to be doing.
That's right. And I think people do get it mixed up. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
No.
yeah. I've
I'm
seen
good.
that a lot in the chats.
Yes, sir, Just Scotty. He sure is. You know that old song by Roger Whittaker, Old Durham Town? That might be showing my age a little bit. No,
I
I
don't
just,
hate.
you know, I'm sorry, Crystal. You go.
I don't hate anybody, but I can't say I don't hate anybody because I can't wait for these people to fall. I cannot wait for them to fall.
Hate in your heart's
And
going to
I
do
hope
no
they
good for
don't
you.
have an easy way out. Out of all this stuff about the children and everything else, I don't think they deserve an easy way out.
Don't keep that hate in your heart.
Oh, I'm not.
Vengeance is mine, saith the
Mine,
Lord.
yeah. But,
Right?
yeah, I'd rather him to do it, God to do it, because he knows
I
the
like.
right way.
I got a saying I made up that I like a lot because it's got a double meaning most people don't realize when I put it in a chat. And a righteous man will always win in the end.
Amen.
And Daddy, you say God helps them or help themselves, but keep your hands off of mine. Sorry about that. I had to go get something. I got too much blood in my caffeine. I had to go get some tea to fix it.
Too much
I love my
blood?
tea.
Yeah, I'm running low. I didn't have any tea. I had too much blood in my caffeine. I'm basically saying I didn't have any caffeine in my bloodstream.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, whoa, where'd this go?
You got blood in your tea. You take your tea serious, huh?
I love my tea.
I stole one of Vicky's RCs, but that ain't cutting it.
You know what? And that's Tennessee Ridge Runner. That's true. My kids, if I didn't discipline them, it was funny because something would happen. If they were doing something and I didn't get to it, it never failed. Something would happen. And I'm like, just put my hand up in the air because I know who did it. That's my son that's had 6 concussions. I'm like, how many times do you think you're going to be knocked upside the head before
Mhm.
that's it?
I need to watch that. That shit gonna end up getting permanent.
I know.
I like how Conservative Cowboy just comes into the chats, drops a bomb, and then disappears until another bomb is delivered.
I know.
I
Y'all
mean,
don't
I
remember
saw,
when
I
used
saw
to
that
do that
story.
last year?
I saw that story hours ago, but it's still breaking.
That's all I used to do over a year ago. I didn't ever talk to anybody. I just come in, watch different things, and drop info and leave. But that was when I was Monkey Bone too, and that was probably 2 years ago or a little more.
I remember when you was Monkey Bone. Used to see that name quite a bit.
Yeah, and everybody be like, "Well, how we know any of that's real?" I'm like, "How you know it ain't?"
Well, I find by watching the bigger chat and the bigger channels, TDS is still alive and well.
Yeah.
What is that? What did you just say?
Buddy of mine used to call me an info troll all the time.
I said TDS is alive and well. You know what TDS is, Bonnie?
I guess not.
Trump.
Derangement syndrome.
Oh,
go.
yes. Okay, yes.
That's what you. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't know if you meant that or something else.
I was going to let her guess.
Orange man bad syndrome, in other words. You know
Yeah.
how to really baffle them, Camo? All them people that says all that, what do you do bad? And when they start spouting out, nope, Obama did that. Nope, that was the Bushes. Nope, that was the one that's in there now.
Right?
He made your gas cheaper, your food stuff go down, interest rates drop.
Well, you know, it's like Crystal said about the kids and about all the things that we've learned. If you look for it, you can find a lot. But I haven't heard anybody come out and say it was all fake. I haven't heard anybody debate it and say, "Oh no, I didn't do that." All these people that get accused of these crimes, they never step up to defend themselves. They act awful guilty. And there's going to come a day when we're going to find out that all of that really was real. And that's going to be the reckoning. These people won't be able to be seen in public. Mark my
Yes.
words. Eventually that day's coming.
You know what's going to be bad about it, bro? They're going to turn around and blame us for, why didn't you let me know? I'm like, I fucking told you 10 times. I'm not going to tell you 11.
I don't think my friend will ever admit that. Hey, Cashew.
My daughter the same way.
Hey, Cashew.
Be kind and understanding when that day comes.
She
I
got
will.
135, 140 IQ. My daughter does, almost as high as mine. But she can't step over a rope that's laying on the ground.
One of my sons can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time.
He's chew gum and walk. They start skipping or hopping or something.
Falling down.
It's kind of like people you say, can you pat your tummy and rub your head at the same time or vice versa?
My father, too. My father thinks that everything in the world is just perfect. I'm like, So I just pass this off to old age because
Oof, that's not, wow. 101st Airborne now being deployed to Europe, confirmed.
Yep, that's going over to. That's all that shit's fixing to happen. They were saying then at 10 a.m. or 10 a.m. or p.m. whatever, 7 hours would be night or day to them is when this shit's supposed to break loose. I don't know where they come up with saying that it was they're pulling out. I think they're regrouping.
what's in Europe on the way to?
Ukraine.
Europe's all around Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Ukraine's right in the middle of Europe between Russia and Italy and all of them.
I really need to look at a map.
If it was here, it'd be kind of like say the Ukraine was Missouri, and the rest everything east of Missouri is Russia, and everything west of Missouri is the rest of Europe.
Okay.
And Ukraine's kind of like right in the middle, but closer to the bottom. It'd be more like where Arkansas or the top half of Texas is or something. That'd be that close to the coast.
So all European countries are they run by the Queen?
They're
No.
all cabal involved, except I think Russia.
Oh, wow. Conservative country, wow.
Wow. She was busy. They didn't have them kind of teachers like when we was in school.
Hell, they didn't.
I never seen that. A lot of these ones now they're showing that are good looking. Hell, every teacher I remember having that was female in school, she was over 60.
Well, mine weren't all over 60, but they were ugly. And
Yeah, it'd
mean.
be like if they'd have touched a high school boy, the boy just screamed and ran. And now they look like they could be cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I remember boys being in love with the teachers. Actually, we had a principal here that was fired for being with high school boys.
High school, I wouldn't have said nothing probably because I'm like, yeah, the boys need to learn sex education, but you better not give them nothing.
Yeah, that wasn't her place. It was a lot of mad mamas.
What Vicky'd have been different. Vicky'd probably try to cut that bitch's head off.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, I'm stepping down, you guys. Have a great night. I got to work in the morning. I love you.
Good night, Miranda.
Have a good night.
Don't work too hard.
I work at Walmart. It ain't going to be hard. I ain't going to work hard at all. They can fuck
Have you
themselves.
planned an underground tunnel escape system out of there yet?
No.
They say half them Walmart's got some kind of underground under there.
As far as I know, ours does not.
Well, you got to do some snooping.
If you're back in the back and you see any metal plating on the ground that's like concrete around it, like almost looks like a hatch or something, you might think, oh, there's piping or something down there. That's probably an underground entrance.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any of that around ours. Ours is all cement. It's like fucking stupid. But anyway, good night.
Night,
Even the walls. I check the walls, everything. Those cameras have always creeped me out there. Giant eyeball.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to roll some cigarette.
Yeah, that's what I call them too.
No, really.
I'm just with you.
I've got that too, but I'm not rich, so I have to roll my cigarette.
Tell St. Peter to Golden Gate,
Fixing to
you just
be.
hate to make him wait, but you just gotta have another cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette.
Yeah,
Puff,
buddy,
puff, puff until you smoke yourself to death.
Yeah.
You guys know that one? It's like from the 40s.
I've heard it.
You don't smoke, Camo?
Sure I do. Like a smokestack.
Oh, okay.
I figure you'd say, smoke what?
Yes.
I smoke the other, not all the time. I got a joint here I've been hitting on and off that my son gave me on New Year's Eve.
Well, you know, I used to smoke cigars till I had a real Cuban cigar, and now I can't smoke them cheap bastards. So
Well, I'm probably gonna have to give up my weed, which I'm willing to do, because
What's that?
when I get this car, I'll have something else I have to pay on.
Shep, you changed your name again?
I think she got both accounts. Unless she changed it back and forth.
I don't know.
just Scotty just called me old.
Hey, I'll be 51 tomorrow.
Child.
Just Scotty. Oh, okay, wait. I remember now. Just Scotty. I was going to say just Scotty may be really young. Oh, wait.
Y'all want to know what's been going through my mind this year? My daddy died at 57, and I turned 57 this year.
Yeah, I outlived my dad a long time. You be all right.
My mom died at 59. Guess of what? Cancer. She had small cell lung disease. Guess what I started? Smoking, because everybody says it calms your nerves.
Nose picking posted that tune. Oh yeah, and it's the original too. Right on. Have you ever heard the whippoorwill? I bet you
I
know
heard
that
that.
one, huh, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Yes, I like that song.
So
love that
lonesome.
Thank you, Red.
It's yeah, somebody asked me, why don't you listen to country? And I said, because it's sad. It's depressing.
I grew up on old country.
You just listen to it backwards, Bonnie, and then he gets his truck back, he gets his dog back, he gets his gal back, gets it all back.
Backwards. Okay.
Yeah, you know, a lot of them famous people started the Louisiana Hayride between there and Nashville, Grand Ole Opry.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly listen to Christian music now.
It depends on the mood we're in, what the car radio goes on.
Shit, I like everything from Dimebag Darrell from Pantera to bluegrass.
It's most of the time it's Bob. Do you get Bob over there, Chuck?
Bob
FM. It's everything. It's a mix of everything and a lot of 80s music.
Best one around here is the one out of Tyler, and it only pick it up from here when a storm's coming through from that way.
Oh wow. Well, we did have good radio service here, thank goodness.
Yeah, because a lot.
Marie Kimball says I'm fun.
I don't listen to any radio station unless I'm in somebody else's car and they're playing it.
Yeah, except my doctor told me, he said that quitting smoking cigarettes is 10 times harder than a heroin addict breaking heroin.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I quit every time I put one out.
I'm fixing to quit. I've noticed I'm smoking too much. I'm starting to get that yellow index knuckle.
Just cut back, Chuck. My friend that quit, after you've been smoking for some time, somehow that smoke protects against some things in the lungs.
Yeah, that's what they say.
They got a lot of people, they quit cold turkey, end up sicker than hell or dying or.
Yes, that's what happened to my friend. Well, she didn't die, but damn near.
I have legally smoked cigarettes since I was 10 years of age. By the state of Michigan, they told my parent, they said it's better to let them smoke than to take them away. And now I've got almost 50 years of smoking, and I can still run. I can still do a lot of things. It's all in moderation. You know, those people that smoke 2-3 packs a day are going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started out, I used to get that Bull Durham pouches. You remember them?
Yes. My
That
son still does that.
Copenhagen Redman or Levi Garrett. I had the Bull Durham tobacco with that. I'd have that every now and then. I might have smoked 2 of them a week, but hell, I went to a can of Copenhagen a day.
My brother, I remember him having that you were talking about, Chuck. I remember the first time he tried it. He was a kid. I don't know how he got it. He threw his guts up because he swallowed it.
Copenhagen?
Yeah. Swallowed the juice.
Badass shit. It's stronger than chewing tobacco, except like Bay Twist or something like that. But
yeah.
I don't buy store-bought cigarettes. And in fact, if somebody gave me one, I can't even smoke it. I can taste chemicals like you wouldn't believe. What I get is 100% tobacco. I've been doing it for 20 years or more. I roll my own, like Crystal says, and it costs me maybe $12 to smoke for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Those prices.
Well, for a month, it cost me $21, and that's the big bag of tobacco and about 3 things of the tubes.
Boxes.
But I'm using my cousin. She's got an electric roller.
Mine's hand.
yeah, I got a Tops roller over here.
I wanted to be able to use it if the electricity went off, so I got the hand one.
Oh,
I
I
got one of the little portable ones. I got the little portable ones, and I don't roll them cigarettes ahead of time. I roll them as I need them, and that way I don't smoke them all.
That's true.
Here you go, Crystal. These are all right, but my favorites are Parliament.
Yeah, I got them right now, and I don't like them.
I don't either. They're better than some of them.
When you're trying to put it on the little thing that the tobacco comes out of, those things will just crumble up. You can't even get them on there.
I usually take mine and fold them, make them like a stop sign, and then when I put them on, I turn them as I go to feed it on that, and it'll usually. But mine.
They didn't have the right tobacco or the right kind of tubes this time when I went to the smoke shop.
Do any of you dry your cigarettes? Because if I just roll one out of the bag, I don't even like it. I have to dry it in front of a heater for a while before I even smoke them.
This is what I use. I don't know if y'all ever used one.
That looks just like mine.
Mine don't go around. Mine goes up and down for those kind, but while the electricity works, I just use my electric roller. It's a lot easier.
I got back smoking store-made cigarettes, and now ever since I started back smoking them, I always feel like a mouth like I had a penny in it all the time.
Chuck, have you ever?
Well, mine are store-bought.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie.
It's okay. Mine are store-bought just because they don't have the nicotine. Like,
well,
I can't buy the tobacco with that low a nicotine As long as I can afford my cigarettes to buy them, I will. But I do have a bag and all the setup to roll them in my preps for when the time comes.
Yeah. Chuck, have you ever noticed, or I don't know if you have, Camo, once you smoke a regular cigarette and you stop smoking them and you start smoking the roll ones, it seems like you'd rather have a roll one than you do the other cigarette because it seems like you
Yeah,
get something different.
they taste horrible. They put shit in the
Yeah.
filters. They put shit in the tobacco.
See, I went through that over 20 years ago. I've been off that wagon for a long time. I can't smoke those store-bought cigarettes at all. None of them.
They say there's 72 things in it, and 17 of them are toxins that they add to tobacco for cigarettes.
Well, now
Well, I
Philip Morris for Marlboro used to have over 100 chemicals added to their mix. But then there was Winston-Salem and Winston cigarettes, those full flavor ones. They were supposed to be 100% tobacco, and they were back in the day. Now they have chemicals that keep them from burning if you set them down and all that. So they took away anything pure.
yeah,
Camel,
these
Camel
right
like
here
that
ain't
too.
these. Yeah, the ones that are rolled ain't the tobacco better than the tobacco that's in a regular cigarette.
The regular
don't have
cigarettes, if you can get 100% pipe tobacco, that's what it's called. And it has no additives, nothing in it, not even the sprays they do at the factories with some of that stuff. I don't know if any of you ever been on a tour, but I went through the Winston-Salem R.J. Reynolds building back in the 80s. They gave you a tour. Boy, I'll tell you what, they were kind to their customers. You come out of there with 2 big paper shopping bags full of goodies, ashtrays and tobacco and pipe cleaners and just everything to do with smoking they give you for free. And then they gave me coupons for free cigarettes for decades after that. But it's not like that no more. You know, I used to go out into the hills in North Carolina and find tobacco that had been left in the old shacks drying. There'd always be some left over, and I would smoke that, and I liked it. You know, but with the classes of the tobacco itself, what they do in Winston-Salem every morning, you go out there, you see wagon loads of tobacco stacked up, sitting outside the building with these guys with these sticks going out there and poking it, and they'll choose the best wagons for the best company, and that becomes Class A tobacco, become Winston cigarettes and all that, and then the next wagons that were rejected would go to the next company, and it would get cheaper on down where you were getting basic cigarettes. Remember those? Those were low grade tobacco that most companies would reject it. But you can find the tobacco. I used to buy it out of 5-gallon buckets off a guy up in Traverse City. You know, there are people that deal in tobacco that's just pure plain tobacco. And I believe that's a lot better for you than them chemicals they're putting in it.
I know people that's quitting smoking cigarettes and going to the vapes. But don't that crystallize your
In your lungs,
lungs?
I'm pretty sure the vapes have already killed a couple of guys I know. Within 2 years' time, it killed them.
especially the ones that were strawberry or cream flavored stuff. That something that was in it that was crystallizing in their lungs.
And conservative cowboy is correct. That American stuff, that's pure tobacco.
Yeah, I used to get them
vanilla
Indian,
ones.
I used to buy them Indian cigarettes around here, and then now they're up $10 a pack. They're like $2 or $3 higher than your top brand cigarettes, and I'm like, fuck these things. They get away with no taxes on them, and then they hit the stores and they're fucking more than the others. And it's crazy. Sorry about my French, but I can go to Oklahoma and buy them. They said the same cigarettes. You can get them in Oklahoma for like $2 a pack.
Well, like 10 or 15 years ago when I lived in New York, same pack of cigarettes was like $13 or something like that. But my next door neighbor, he would go to Chinatown and get cigarettes, and he'd sell me a pack of Marlboro 100s for the $5 a pack. And the store down from us, they'd sell them for $7 a pack.
Well, it used to be a gig for people to go down south, buy cases of cartons, and bring them up
Yep.
here to sell them. But
Yep.
I can also remember in the early 90s going to Canada and paying $13, $14 for a pack of cigarettes.
Ooh. Wow. That's I've always heard the reservations and the commissaries are the
Yeah,
cheapest places to.
Yeah. I have to.
but you're only allowed to carry so much over whatever border too. There's limits to it.
Really?
Yeah.
When we lived in Ohio as a
Of
kid,
course
Dad
there
was
is.
a driver, him and his buddies, they'd always have these people wanting to carry them cigarettes or carry fireworks back if they were coming back empty. And it was like, he goes, well, that ain't on the registry. And they'd register and they'd give it to him. So he'd have the paperwork. But if he got caught, he'd have something to protect his ass. He goes, but he's like, because fireworks in Ohio were considered explosives and they were illegal.
Yeah, we had to go down there to get them. There was a time where Michiganders would take a trip to Ohio just to get fireworks.
I remember back in the 80s, my dad's buddy, after Dad got hurt, he still drove a truck. He'd always have fireworks.
I remember when a few cases of Coors could make a guy some good money up here.
Yeah. Where they had to go to, was it? I'm trying to remember where they had to go, Golden Springs to pick it up or something like that.
I knew it was in Colorado.
Yeah, I remember what is it? Texas used to. Some people liked it, and they bring them from Colorado to Texas, and some of them would trade Lone Star for Coors. This is back in the 80s.
Y'all remember Schlitz malt liquor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drank a few of them.
My daddy used to drink Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Blatz and Schlitz sounds a little bit close to what the next day sounds like.
Yep. You remember Schaefer beer? We used to say when money's tight, it's a Schaefer night. That stuff was like drinking liquid X-Lax. You didn't have to go that night, but the next day you better stay close to home.
I haven't drunk anything in about 2.5 years. I smell liquor and it makes me sick on my stomach.
I haven't had a good drinking in over 5 years now. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, me and my wife talking about that the other day. I like Maker's Mark and Jack Daniels. She likes Captain Morgan or Bacardi.
I like Bacardi when I was drinking.
When all this gets sorted out, then I'll have something to celebrate.
Yeah, I've been pretty much dry since my youngest was born.
Nose picking, I don't like any kind of beer. I drink whiskey.
Yep.
I like beer, but it's got to be weird beers. Like I like Dos Equis with Mexican food.
Oh, have you seen that where they put the Dos Equis in the big glass of, is it a margarita or what do they call that thing?
Yeah, they put the bottle in upside down in it or something though.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not
tequila straight. I like straight up Monte Album Mezcal tequila.
I've drank my share of mezcal and ate plenty of them worms. That too.
I ate 35 agave worms one night, and
Jose Cuervo.
This reminds me I don't drink and I keep it by me all the time. I pulled it out New Year's Eve. You remember, Bonnie? And I never touched it.
Chuck, that myth about agave worms giving you hallucinogenics, that's all a myth. I ate 35 agave worms in one sitting and didn't get a dang thing off it.
Yeah, that depends if you've been eating mushrooms or taking placidills, I guess, too.
Boiler making, maybe.
Billy beer was nasty, too. It was kind of like warm Miller is what it reminded me of.
It was like Pat's Blue Ribbon that got left out in the sun for a week.
Yeah, close.
I remember up in Ohio, one of the beers I liked, it was a Genesee Cream Ale and Little Kings. That cream ale beer, I liked that. It was cold.
If I want to drink a beer, it's going to be dark and thick. I like that stuff made for guys named Gunther. You know, that
It's like Guinness and stuff like that.
I can drink a Guinness or 5 or 6, maybe more.
That tastes to me more like coffee than it does beer, though.
My mother only drinks Shiner Bock.
Let me tell y'all a little story. My mom adopted my youngest son.
Good one,
The
conservative.
relationship I was in, I was scared to get out of. He done put a gun to my head, but that's beside the point. Anyway, he'd wake up in the morning and he'd want his coffee and his fudge. We didn't put a whole lot of coffee in there, but y'all ever heard of that Irish? I think it's Irish cream, Bailey's.
Yes.
Bailey's
Yes.
Irish.
She was putting that in my son's coffee, and I said, "Mama, you are sending him to school drunk."
I worked at
So I don't.
Yeehaw.
I worked at a moving storage place in the early '80s up in Cleveland, and Dad worked for him back in the '60s. He goes, "You got to watch the drinking." He goes, "All that whole family, I forget what nationality were they drank. They drank with their beer or something with their cereal in the morning."
Ugh.
But this woman, they come in, she called them Irish coffee, and the whole day long she kept it's either a bottle of Jameson or a bottle of Bushmills by the coffee pot, and she had a double shot glass. She'd pour that, put it in the coffee cup, then top it off with really hard. I forget what the name of that coffee she drank was. It was hardcore coffee, but she'd black coffee with that whiskey in it and drink that all day long.
Yeah, when I was younger.
I'd go in there because hell, she'd take $1 a week out of our check and she'd keep stock for whatever anybody wanted around there. They had a back room that had a bar, full bar set up, pool table, jukebox, pinball machines, all that stuff for the employees. She liked the idea of us people, if they wanted to do something, to hang out there. And if you got too drunk, that room was full of couches. People would just pass out on a couch. She didn't want nobody wandering. Well, hell, she keep me some what's that damn beer? It's Heineken. She keep Heineken there for me and Jack Daniels. Because if she didn't keep Jack around, I'd get into her fucking Irish whiskey. She didn't like that.
Me and my brothers used to break into the house bar all the time. Camo, I don't think you're as old as you make out to be.
I started really young, too.
Yeah.
Me and a buddy of mine were going to the liquor store down here, and they thought we were 21, and me and him was like 14 years old every weekend getting money together and having cake parties.
Remember the glass bottles?
Yeah.
We'd go around picking up glass bottles off the side of the highway. That's how we paid for our gas, cigarettes, everything.
Deposit
In
bottle.
1976, when the bottle law started in Michigan, I lived on a lake at the time, and during like the bicentennial celebration, people threw away so many bottles. I was filling my canoe up to the rim every day, paddling it down to the store and making big bucks for a kid. I'd make $300-400 in a day picking up bottles and cans.
Mm-hmm.
I remember bottles and cans both had deposit on them back then.
Well, it started in 76, and like the whole first year, nobody bothered to keep them. They were still just throwing them everywhere they went.
Well, we were out grabbing them.
I
Cleaning up
wish
the
it was
highways.
I wished it was like New York when I used to live there. You could take bottles, you could take aluminum, and you could take glass and get money for putting them in that machine. And you go to the cashier and she'd give you the money.
Yeah. You know, in a lot of foreign countries, they still do that. They have that machine where you can put the recycle in and collect money.
There was people not too many years back that would fill their vans full of Ohio or other state cans and bring them up here because they were worth 5 cents there and worth 10 cents here. So there was a whole
Yeah.
gig about transferring them over the state line.
Yep.
Yeah, if you had a lot of them, doubling your money. That's
Yeah. We've been to a lot of scrap places with whoever's paying the best. That's where you go.
Yep, I done some scrapping too,
Yeah.
especially when I was in my bad drug days, which I've been clean for 15 years. So, but yeah,
It's not a fun job. I used to I worked at a couple party stores, but one of them for quite a while. And people would bring in bottles and cans and they'd be full of dead mice and in plastic bags. And that was a nasty job to deal
Yeah.
with. So I imagine those machines are pretty appreciated they got nowadays.
Right.
I got a buddy of mine. His dad, I worked on his vehicles for him. He was a scrapper, and his son's a scrapper. Had this fella to help. He was their helper, and he'd pay him 5% of the steel or 10%, and he got to keep all the brass and copper. And he knew somebody that Daddy was a hoarder, had died, and they said the garage is full of beer cans and other stuff. And they said they could have everything in the garage. Come get it out of there and haul it off for scrap. And they said majority of it's aluminum, beer cans and bags and stuff, and they didn't want to worry with it. So they went over and got all that out. And that old boy that got the copper and brass, this is when copper was $4.50 here a few years ago. He had 2,800 pounds of copper.
oh my goodness.
That dude was homeless, been trying to figure out what he could do to get a break, to get something fixed. And he ended up, the guy that Jerry told him, he goes, well, I told you it's all your money. He goes, yeah, but I feel bad. He goes, how about I give you 10% of this and you can just keep all my end of the other scrap. And he goes, I'll still help.
Quit.
That'll work. So he gave him 1,000 of his money, but that guy ended up paying bills, getting him a house, bought him a piece of land and a trailer on it for like $8,000.
Dang. That's
That
awesome.
That old man was like 60, 65 years old.
Yeah, my cousin want to sell this house for $20,000 with the house and the lot, but when you go in the back of the yard, you're going in a swamp, because that's how when it's raining it is. And this house ain't even worth that, and it's not even on a good piece of lot. So,
Mm.
I mean, the house is halfway done on the inside. They still got the old dang electricity wires running in here.
Yeah, I remember the old ceramic tubes running through wood with hot wires running through them. Then little ceramic.
These are just hanging from the ceiling, though. And my box, it's outside.
Camel, you know the little pieces of ceramic they stuck through them insulators?
Yeah.
Them are awesome for sharpening knives with.
Porcelain will do that. You just make me think of this old farmer I used to bale hay for when I was a kid, Mr. Brideup. You'd show up at the farm to work and you'd have a big old breakfast. Mrs. Brideup, she'd feed you, and you go out and you wouldn't come back until nighttime. And me and another guy that worked there, we started noticing that Mr. Brideup would keep going. He raised horses. He had some of the breed to the Budweiser team. Yep. And this is up in Grand Traverse County, Michigan, up by where they had the Cherry Festival in Traverse City and stuff. But I started watching what he was doing. I got kind of suspicious. And while he wasn't in there, I went down and I looked in the grain bins. He had them down in the bottom of those dirt mound ramp style gable roof barns, those big ones with you got the big like ramp that goes up to it, and they've got a basement, full basement. Yeah. And that's where the horses were kept in an open area. So you had to go around the horses to get to the grain bins, and he had those big barrel-shaped, heavy cardboard grain bins, you know.
Yep.
Sure enough, I opened up the ones in the back and found two of them were filled with old Milwaukee beer cans, and the other one was filled. The other two were filled with blackberry brandy. I mean, filled, not empties. This old man would drink all day long. Nobody knew it, and he had a stash that was immense. He never noticed the missing bottles of brandy. He never missed the missing beer. It was a grand thing to know as a kid.
Of course
Hey,
they were
Bonnie.
missing.
Bonnie, I'm gonna back down. I love you all in chat. I love y'all, and I'll talk
We
to
love
y'all
you too,
later.
Crystal.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
You
Good
take
night.
care, Crystal.
Night.
Good night. Yeah. My mother always had Boone's Farm in the refrigerator because we all run anemic and it was supposed to help with that.
Strawberry Hill.
Mad Dog and Boone's Farm.
Yes, Mad Dog. I remember that. Oh,
Back when we was kids, we used to drink.
there's a
drink,
reason they called it that.
take a shot of tequila and 2 shots of Mad Dog 2020. They called it a pit bull, and you pour it in a cup and shoot it down.
Yeah.
That stuff would make you fight a pine tree.
Gals loved that stuff. That Boone's Farm was a gal's favorite friend.
Yeah, Strawberry Hill, as I was saying, all them girls, and then they come out with that peach, and a lot of them girls, some liked it, some didn't.
I never liked peach, and I live in peach country, and I just don't like peaches.
I
make
like,
a peach
I like
cobbler,
Georgia peaches.
if I make a peach cobbler, I eat just the crust. Just I like them pastries.
Yeah, you made a peach cobbler. If you make a good one, you wouldn't get rid of me. I love peach cobbler.
Yeah, that was my ex-husband. He wouldn't eat cake or nothing, so any gathering we had to have peach cobbler.
You ever made them things or heard of them that's kind of like, you remember apple dumplings? They make one that's a peach dumpling.
Yes. No, I wouldn't eat a peach dumpling, but we have a bakery not too far away. It's about 15 miles, and they make everything from scratch. Apple fritters. You go in there in the mornings and any kind of muffins, everything. The girls go in there and they spend at least $20 just stocking up.
I'm gonna get me a couple bottles of Jim Beam, and I'm gonna go visit all these streams.
I keep telling you, come on down.
It's coming, I swear. I mean, I know that we're gonna start being on the right side of all this garbage, and then I'll celebrate and I'll
Yep.
make the round.
Maybe y'all or somebody out there in the chat can tell me where I got this from. As a kid, somewhere, somebody, I learned to put a slice of cheese on a hot apple pie. I don't know if
I
that
have
was
heard of
something Amish I picked up or when I was up there or what.
Well, I've heard of that. I don't think it's Amish. I think it might be a country thing.
I don't know. I never heard of it.
Try it.
Well,
next
you
time.
haven't heard of a lot, Bonnie.
Well, that's ruining a good apple pie.
You'd think it would, but it's kind of like adding whipped cream to it. You can't really tell it's cheese. It just
That's
gives it
like pineapples on pizza. No.
We should ask Anna Marie because she is in Wisconsin. I mean, that's like the cheesehead state.
Anna Marie knows everything. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, like Anna Marie.
She
I don't see nothing wrong with her yet.
no. She is one tough girl too. So,
She's got a shotgun, a rifle, and a 4-wheel drive.
and the muscle to back it. I mean, I would have her by my side in a minute.
It's like Vicky working at that store is in one of the worst neighborhoods, sort of in Shreveport. Plus, it's right on the interstate. She'll go out there at 2 to 3 o'clock, take lunch. She gets out there and jams her Boston or whatever, and eats her lunch and has the door open. And one of the girls, "Ain't you scared?" And Vicky's like, "I ain't scared of shit." She goes, "Why ain't you scared?" She walked over and looked. Vicky, she'll lay her pistol on the console. She goes, "Anybody messes with me, if you guys hear boom boom and don't see me, my old man told me come home and call the cops."
Anna, it was whether you've ever heard of anybody putting cheese on an apple pie.
Do what?
And then after
She
that,
said-
how amazing you are.
She missed the question, she said in chat.
Yeah, apple pie with cheese on. I'm trying to figure out where I got that from. Even Mom and Daddy thought I was crazy as a kid.
It's apple pie with bluebell ice cream on top.
Yeah, I like that, or peach. Have an Alamo or whatever they
Red's
call it.
heard of it. Red's heard of it.
Better, yes. Huh. Southern thing. Well, not this Southern.
Well, I learned it up in Ohio, but I did go to church in Nazarene with some people. I could have picked it up there, and I think they were from like South Carolina. Hey, Victor.
Hey, Victor.
Hey,
That
Victor.
could- I picked it up. But I miss working up there in Ohio when I was young. A lot of our work, we have to go through Amish parts of places up there. And I'd always stop at the roadside stands and eat.
There's a lot of that up here in Michigan, too. They make some nice furniture. You can get some good goods from them. There's even a couple little stores.
I miss their sweet pickles they made too. Can you still get them?
What was that?
Them sweet pickles, them Amish, them girls that have up
Well,
there.
I wouldn't know about that because I can't stand no sweet pickles.
Me either. Yuck.
I used to love them. I don't know what they were like. My grandma made.
I mean, I guess I could eat them if I had to, but I wouldn't like it.
Chuck Anna Marie said, cheese on pie with hot cinnamon candy.
I never had it with the candy part, but I had the cheese on it.
Victor.
You ever had tomatoes on your macaroni and cheese?
Had what?
Tomatoes on your macaroni and cheese.
I'll put ketchup on it though.
Oh,
I don't
No.
really care about
My
ketchup.
favorite one I picked up from the South is slaw dogs. I like coleslaw on my hot dogs.
Yeah, I did that. There's a
Yes.
hot dog house in Cleveland that did that, and they had that coleslaw. It was so finely cut. It's almost the consistency of mashed potatoes. And this place was in downtown Cleveland when I worked at that place where they had all that liquor and stuff. It was a hot dog house. You get 5 hot dogs, a canned Coke, and one of them little bitty bags of chips for $2. And that place stayed packed all the time. And they
Well, I
had
would recommend anybody not used to them stay away from the pink hot dogs. Those usually make people spew pretty quick.
this was they somehow, I think they made the hot dogs for the Cleveland Indians, and this was just an outlet store they had on it. But they had a big buffet thing up there where like you go to Subway, but you'd order a topping you wanted. They had everything you can think of to put on a hot dog, and their biggest seller was slaw dog.
But in the South, they got 2 kinds of hot dogs. They got the pink hot dogs and they got the regular hot dogs.
I like the ones that are stuck together on the link, them Wilson hot dogs or whatever you call them.
Oh, yeah, we got something up here. I think it's Kohler's.
They're red and they're still connected.
Mm-hmm. Those red ones aren't processed, and they're a lot rawer than something that you would normally be used to, and a lot of people's stomachs reject those.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
can eat
got
almost anything except if it's Asian. I don't know what it is. I've tried the MSG free stuff. I've tried it tastes good, looks good, goes down all right, comes back in 15 minutes every time.
Don't want to stay there.
I can't keep Asian food down.
Hey, Lisa.
The MSG messes with my head bad. It makes me emotional.
I've tried the MS free. It's not the MSG. I've tried that without it. It's not that. It's something else.
Must be some kind of spice.
The ginger or the soy they put in everything. They put that cornstarch and ginger in almost everything.
Because I can't have iodine, I switched from soy sauce to coconut aminos. And you can't tell a difference.
Really, all soy tastes like is salty, burnt something.
Well, I think if the bottom goes out of everything, I'm still going to eat because I'm not that particular.
Me either. I had a big issue with my last thing that I wouldn't eat was beets, and I broke that a year or two ago. I made myself eat them. They were on a salad bar, and I even made myself go get second. But growing up in the bars up north, I'd always eat beets and purple eggs that they had soaking in with the beets.
Yeah.
I would eat
That's
beets,
what Shane's always talking about. Pickled eggs. Yeah.
And they got to be.
You guys ever had any chow chow? You guys ever had chow chow?
Yep. That's in this part of the country a lot of. That's that old cabbage relish stuff with tomatoes and.
Yeah, my grandmother used to can that.
That's good stuff. I like that.
I'll eat the chow chow. I'll eat pickled tomatoes. Hell, I'll eat meat kimchi. That's that old Korean hot stuff.
I like sweet bread.
Sweet bread?
Not too fond of. Yeah, I'm not too fond of chitlins or tripe or haggis or. I've tried them. And I tried the Rocky Mountain oysters and not too fond of them. I like the sweet bread.
Sweet bread's brains, ain't it?
Yes, sir. It's cow brains.
Mountain oysters, they kind of like, it's the thought, a lot of it, because when I taste them, they kind of reminded me of chicken gizzards.
I guess it's, how you cook them. It's like with a lot of stuff. I've had goat's head soup where it looks right back at you.
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
My favorite as a kid growing up was my dad and my uncle. They go hunting, and they even deer hunting. They come back with squirrels. I like the damn squirrel heads. I like the brains. And my other uncle, he'd make pig brains and eggs or pig brains and greens, and I'd eat that hell out of that. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Vittles.
Brains and eggs with a little bit of hot sauce on it. He made homemade pepper salt and put that on it.
Well, you're already zombied up. No.
That's in the hills of Tennessee, though, too. That's everywhere in his house. He'd either have some kind of peppers hanging from a string, or he'd have ginseng, golden seal.
Yes. I think the weirdest thing I've eaten is menudo.
That's what, tripe soup or something, ain't it?
Yes, it's just nasty. And
does it taste nasty, or the idea is nasty?
I really didn't like it. My poor neighbor, we went to school together and everything, and she'd invite us over for lunch every time she made menudo. And
thing about that tripe is it just gotta chew it too much. The way when I had that, it was chewy.
Yes, very.
A buddy of mine said his mom would make it. He called it rubber band soup.
Yeah,
No,
that's very, very, yeah, that's good. That's about it.
and I can remember when I worked at a meat market, like way back, and the fajita meat was like the scraps off of
Yeah, the flank
what we were
steak.
butchering up. And so you could get it really cheap. And go look at getting fajita meat now. It's flipping
He called
ridiculous.
it ribeye.
Yes.
Conservative cowboys asking Chuck if he's ever had monkey brains. You see where they have special tables? They lock the head of the monkey while they're alive. They each get a little silver
Yeah,
hammer and
faces of
crack
death.
the skull
whatever.
open, eat the brains while the monkey's still living.
Ooh.
I wouldn't do that, but I'd eat them if they were on a plate cooked. I guess if I
No,
had.
that's a delicacy that actually exists.
That sounds like something out of a satanic movie or something.
They had that
It's
faces
not-
of death in the
there is-
80s. That
It
was
is
on.
in a movie. It's called The 10 Faces of Death from the early 80s. And it has a segment in there about that.
And everybody
Yeah.
around the table took turns hitting the monkey in the head with a mallet.
Yeah. Little silver hammers that crack the head open and eat it while it's still alive.
Yeah, it's still
Oh,
screaming as they're eating its brain.
no. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not
You are
hungry.
going to give me nightmares.
This was a movie. This was it wasn't even. I don't even think it was rated R back then.
It's actually a documentary. It's not fiction.
No.
But then again, I've seen South Americans take a tarantula the size of a basketball with severely caustic hairs on it. You can't even touch the spider. And they'll roll it into the coals of a fire until all the hairs are burned off. And then the whole tribe gathers around and picks out the white meat like it's a treat.
Like crab legs.
Ugh. No.
But the ones that get me is them 1,000-year-old Chinese eggs. Yeah, I don't care how much you're paying me. I ain't eating that.
No. Have you seen where every year how many people, Chinese people, die at the holidays because they eat that?
Yeah, they get
It
bad.
seems like it's some kind of pasta that they do something to, and
They
it's
like
like
risky food, sushi and blowfish and stuff like that. They just like that risk.
You guys
They
remember
like playing Russian roulette.
what's that guy's little fat guy that go around and eat stuff? Andrew Zimmer or something like that. He went to this one place. It was some coastal country, and these people would hang fish and let them dry in the barns, and then these fish would hang there for years, and they'd know when they're done by the texture and the way it would feel when they squeezed the body. And they showed the guy cut it opened it, and was pulling it out, and the fish didn't no longer look like fish. It looked like almost like cream cheese because it
Ew.
rotted, been up there so long. And that Andrew Zimmer, he would eat anything, and he ate it, got a bite of it in his mouth, and it's like he gagged. And he tried to chew it and swallow, and he gagged again. He finally swallowed it, and he said it had the consistency of warm caramel, and he said it tasted like a combination of foot-toe rot and vomit.
Well, how would you know? Ew.
That's what he said it tasted like.
Ugh.
And he said
Well,
that
I guess some people are into that.
and people pay like $50 a pound for that shit up there in that country.
You remember
They
that
used
show,
to-
Fear Factor, was it?
Yeah.
That they ate all that? My ex-husband and daughter Laura wanted to go on there so bad because they were like, we will knock this out. And I said, y'all are sick. What? Because they give you all that ick stuff to eat.
That or lay you in a
Like
box
that.
in the dark and pour spiders over, and you had to stay in there for 20 minutes. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
no. Somebody asked me what a panic attack was like. And I said, what's your worst fear? And she said, spiders. I said, okay, imagine being chained down in a box or on the ground or whatever, and somebody dumping a box of spiders on top of you. And she's all, oh my God, I would die. And I said, yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yep. Your heart, your chest tightens up. You can't get your breath. You can't breathe in. You can't breathe out. You get all these irrational thoughts going through your mind, and
Yep.
your vision gets spotty, and you see like stars in space and blurry. And
Yeah,
I've
they
had my
used to
bad
hang
places.
pheasant. They used to hang pheasant outside until it fell rotted off the neck, and then it was ready to eat.
Oh.
I think some people still do it.
you know what's
Ooh.
bad? Not the first person that said it, but somebody would try it after the first person told them about it. That's the one that's got a problem. It's like he done warned you, told you how nasty that is, and you're going to do it? Okay.
Well, people get mighty desperate when they're hungry.
Well, yeah. And but I've got that all planned out already. Because I was thinking, so what if? Because you have to these days. We don't know what's going to happen. And so I've been looking around me and seeing what there is. And I think I'll be okay for a while.
In a real S8 fan deal, whatever you want to call it,
Yes.
in a real situation like that,
It
in
would
a
be.
hot area, you don't want to be around vehicles. You don't want to be around buildings. Step
Right.
away from those. Get off away from it and observe, you know,
Yep.
because those will be the targets. That'll be what people are, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get quite to that point. I think something's going down, and we're going to find out soon.
If
But
conservative cowboys dropping real bombs, yeah, I think so too.
well, you know, put them all together, everything that's going on. How many people resigned and
Yeah.
stepping down, getting fired?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at this. Look at it over the past 2 years, not just recently. Just look at all these people that have either disappeared, resigned, got fired, kind of they died, or
And you got to admit, there's a lot of people don't look like they did a little while ago. You know, there's something going on there.
yeah, Joe Biden,
Yeah.
he looked completely different than he did in 2015.
You know, I can't say it's not him, but something's changed.
Well, I know one of them wasn't.
Bigger and smaller, and he gets taller and shorter, and
There was one, he was walking to an airplane, supposedly him, and his jacket was tight, and you could see bulging muscles, legs in the pants, in the jacket, arms, chest, and I was like, whatever. That little old man, that ain't him.
hell, Cappy said one time that it was Jim Carrey before Cappy died. Said that was Jim Carrey playing him.
I don't even know if he's that built. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to tell Anna something now. Also, maggots, if you get them in the wild, are 100% pure protein. Nothing wrong with them. You just don't want to get maggots from a source that are, you know, like a dumpster or something.
You don't rake them out of a dumpster. You might as well drink the juice too then.
But people have survived also by having maggots clean their wounds.
Hell, you could survive if you find enough oak trees. You shell the acorns and then soak the meat in buckets and wash the water out, or wash them out a few times. Get the tannin out of them. You can eat the damn acorns just like you can any other nut.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they're really poisonous, aren't they?
The tannin to make you sick, and I don't know if it's poison. If you eat enough of them, I guess it'd kill you. But
Seems like I saw something about that.
that and what's it? The morel mushrooms, ones that look like a sponge.
Well, there's more than one kind of morel mushroom, but there's also one called the helva species. and it's known also as a false morale, and it makes a lot of people sick. But then again, I know people that prefer those type of mushrooms and eat them all the time to no effect. But the morale mushrooms don't close at the stem; they're open at the bottom.
Just
And if,
Scotty, has it gotten too much for you?
and if they're growing out of cow shit, and when it's a dewy night, eat you a few of them and lay down.
Red's talking about the pemmican. You also got hardtack. Those are good things to know.
Yes.
Yeah, hardtack just what's it? Just a fibery cracker like thing.
Yep.
A lot of people lived off of that.
Pemmican is what, meat and fat. And
Yes.
the
And
fat.
you can put berries in it. And I actually have the recipe because I was going to do that, but
You know that book going around the old ways? I got one that's about 3 times as thick. It's called the Encyclopedia of Country Living.
Huh.
It's got
Yeah, I've
recipes
seen that
in there all the way back from like 1700s or something.
I've seen that one. There's a lot of good information. A lot of things. You can make pancakes out of cattails if you know what you're doing.
Yep. Matter of fact, I think that book has a recipe in there for making pancakes out of acorns.
Yeah, you can make, well, they're not really pancakes, but they're little cakes.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, there's 130 that I know of edible plants and trees, medicinal and edible plants and trees all around here. If you get some of those books, I've got a small collection, a small library, I guess I better call it, of field guides and stuff for edible plants. And like you said, there's old books like the Sportsman's Handbook. You'll get recipes and little tips out of it that
Yep.
it can make it like I love Indian lemonade, and it's free. It's all over the place. And all you gotta do is soak it in the water a day, just like you would tea, sun tea or something, and add some honey or some sweetener to it the way you like it. And it's super high in vitamin C, and it's good for you. I mean, and nobody knows what Indian lemonade is.
What is it? I think I've heard it, but I don't remember. My uncle used to hang around with an Indian guy he'd go to Alaska with.
I'm gonna wait and see if Chat knows anything about it. There's one thing about it is the tree that it comes from has for years been considered poisonous because there is a species that's poisonous, but the poisonous species has white berries. But the staghorn sumac with the red velvet berries on the tops of the little trees, you soak those berries, get a fresh cluster, make sure you got no critters living in it, and soak it for a day or maybe 2, depending on how much flavor you want to it. That's really good for you. And people need to know this stuff.
Yeah, or like thistle. Thistle, it's medicine plus you can cook it. It's like celery, broccoli kind of stem, asparagus.
That's good. But, a more adequate for the times plant to know is Mullen Plant. It's a very common plant, grows all over the United States.
Yes.
And you can make a very therapeutic tea for lungs and throat issues, which, what's going around now. But everybody should know what the plant is by seeing it, even if they don't know what the plant is. But it's the plant with the very velvety leaves that grow in a cluster like dandelions, real thick. And then in the springtime, it'll have a stalk that'll shoot straight up. And those velvet leaves, you can make a tea out of, but also, the Indians used to pad their moccasins with those, and they're good for insulation, and they're a natural antiseptic. You could get mosquito bit and bruise a bunch of those leaves up and start rubbing your arms with it. You'll start feeling the relief immediately.
And make tinctures out of them. Is that what it's called? Tinctures? Where, like if you have a cut.
Yeah, I've heard you
You can do that. Yeah, you could do that.
Take it, chew it up, and make a poultice out of it.
Yeah.
You don't really want to chew it up. That one you want to do by hand.
Ark Wild
But
Man
even
Survival shows a lot of that. But my problem is I would have to have the book with the pictures because
well,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
copycat
Don't get
plant.
just one either. Don't get just one book either,
Yeah.
because each one of them is going to have different information. And the way I like to explain this to people is I have several books on mushrooms alone. And one book will tell you a certain species of mushroom is deadly poisonous. Don't eat it. Don't touch it. Next book will say, well, it's slightly poisonous and sought after in some places. I mean, they literally
Yeah.
have opposing information that you have to discern yourself. And it goes the same way with pictures, because some of the, like the Audubon books, they're hard to beat when it comes to the pictures. When you compare that to a like Tom Brown's field guide to nature observation and wilderness tracking or something, those are line drawings in there. It's nice to have multiple sources when you get into plants, because stuff even like nettle can be eaten if you boil all the caustic exterior off it. Steep the plant before you use it.
Yeah, nettle,
Yeah.
thistle, and pine needle.
Pine needle tea, yeah. I mean,
See,
willow tree got a pure form of aspirin you can get from the twigs and leaves, and that's 100% natural stuff.
You okay?
Who, me?
Whoever, it sounded like somebody just fell.
That
Me
wasn't
something on
me.
the side of the couch. My cat's running around there acting a fool.
Oh, okay.
That'd have
Yeah,
been a first to have a casualty on a panel.
I know. Sometimes I worry about that because I'm like, man, we're live, and what if?
there ain't many of
Everybody be healthy.
From what I understand too, when you post a video of a live stream that's happened, the chat doesn't show up for like 24 hours or something.
Yes. And so last night's got blocked because of the Benny Hill. And then they decided to add my intro onto that also. So I spent all night and day trimming it. If you trim it, then they'll let it go back up. So I don't know if, because it just came back up this evening, if maybe tomorrow the chat will be back in it. I don't know. Blackwatch was saying that I probably lost all the chat. So we'll see what happens. Usually the chat is still there after I have to do something like that, but
Well, let's say that Truth Social is as good as they say it's going to be. I'd like to organize a mass exodus from these platforms so everybody gets
yes.
on the same platform and stays connected and can finally speak their own mind without censorship because if that really happens, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, I made the first step. I deleted Facebook. Made sure I made my thing, my account. It was deleted. I quit, and everything's gone, so I can't go back to it.
Well, I feel like this about YouTube and Facebook. They're the battlegrounds. Yeah, they're a commie platform, but this is where the battle's being fought. This is where you can open minds. And I think we're at the end of that. I don't think there's a lot more we can do about that, especially with the way they've tightened up on everything. And so it's going to be a point to where they're not good for nothing no more. If somebody else opens up a better, freer platform, there's going to be no use left for these. I think there
Well,
will
yeah.
be. I think it's coming. I mean, everybody knows now, and nobody likes it.
If we still have internet, I just keep thinking that we're going to be put backwards a lot. I
You would
think.
think there would be contingency plans in place for just such an occasion.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Bad thing about it is they got to waller and brag about what they do, and they think they're the smartest one in the room. And if they don't know it, nobody else does, and that's their downfall.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Well,
seen them censor a lot of stuff that turned out to be fact.
I just don't want to lose contact with all of y'all. I mean, this whole community has become like family. Yeah,
Well,
we
I'm
got some
Camo
bad
Carl
apples
on every
everywhere.
other platform. Every other platform, I'm Camo Carl. You'll know who it is.
Yep.
I think pretty much everybody's got my number, or somebody don't. Which
Well, we got your number all right. No.
yeah, I try not to intentionally hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not one with the kind of touchy feel. I feel bad if I hurt somebody's feelings, but all that offense stuff is like, no, are you bleeding? You're not going to die from it. You'll get over it.
If
Yep.
they're that easily offended, what are they doing in these chats?
Yep.
Exactly.
If they're coming here to tell everybody that this and that's offending them, then they're just coming here to stir shit up.
Well,
Did you
and
know
that's,
that a snowflake melts every time you hit the like button?
Yep.
I was going to say, I see so many that I think it's going to be unicorns and rainbows. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's going to get really bad before it gets good. It's
Yeah.
not going to go back to the same, but it's going to be a better.
I'm sure hoping. All I want to do is sell my house and get out there to my mom's. And that just keeps slapping me in the face. Is the customer supposed to be always right?
Supposed to
Until they
be.
piss me off.
Yeah, well, they done pissed me off.
Well, then they ain't right no more. That's just it. You know,
That building that I got, when they brought it in, they hit my mama's travel trailer with it, and they broke the cement cover on my septic tank. So, besides the building being damaged when it was brought in anyway, one of the support beams went through a wall, and the front door wall is not level, so the front door won't shut. So, okay, they're sending out a contractor to fix those things, but now they're fighting with me over them hitting the travel trailer, and the salesman is out and out lying. And so today I talked to the delivery guy, and he was sitting there calling me a liar, and I was like, y'all done it now. And so I called the financing company, and I said, guess what? I am surrendering this building. Y'all can come and pick this shit up. It has been damaged and nothing's been done. I ordered it on December the 6th. And here it is, February 15th, and still going through this. No, take it back. I'll find something else. But guess what? I don't get my deposit back.
Are they going to come get it or what?
Yeah, and if they touch one thing on that property with it again, I'm going to stop them right there in their tracks, take pictures, and call the sheriff. I done had it.
Well, yeah, I'd look on that camper, wherever it was that was hit, and then look on did they hit it with the shed itself, or they hit it with a vehicle they were taking it back there with?
No, they hit it with the building, and you can see it. You can see the dent in the building. It's obvious. It's the perfect print of the metal piece that holds the spare tire on the back of the travel trailer. So And we've got pictures of it all. There's no denying it.
Could be paint transfer too.
And
Basically, where the paint rubs together, like if one's one color, one's the other, it'll have somewhat to a very outstanding what they call paint transfer.
right, but there's no paint. But the picture that my mother took, you can see the black line on the building from the spare tire, because it's where the spare tire sits. So all the metal around the spare tire is bent up, and then the pressure of it moved the travel trailer where it messed up one of the jacks up underneath it also. And yes, I can be just sweet and nice, but until you piss me off, and they done pissed me off.
Yeah, don't eat one bite of shit from them, because as soon as you eat one bite of shit, you got to eat all of it.
Yep. And the two girls are totally backing me too. They've been making phone calls, and Laura's when you don't want to get on the phone with her when she's mad. She don't have a filter.
And he tell them, say, if you don't want no shit, don't start no shit.
Yeah. Well, that's at first that one woman that she was talking to, she was kind of mean about it. And then once we sent the picture, she called back right away and she said, "Oh no, this is so obvious." And I said, "Exactly. Now fix it." So
You tell them, say, if you got to get a lawyer involved in it, you're going to get more than that done out of it. You're going to get the building free. You're going to get
exactly.
them calling you a liar.
Yep.
And they're going to have to pay the attorney.
Not David.
It's all well and good. Be nice till you don't have to be nice.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, if I was in that business, and the sad thing is, after I got it, when I was looking at floor plans for those kind of buildings, that's when I started seeing the reviews, and they have really bad reviews. So it's not uncommon, but I wish that I would have seen the reviews before going through all this, because I never would have done it.
One thing about it, they have insurance.
I'm sorry.
I said you will look at those reviews next time, though.
Oh, yes. I'm already looking at Amish-made log cabins, and we'll figure it out. And I'm sure they have insurance. The movers and everybody has insurance. You would think.
Next time, if they don't do any more with it, next time any of them get a hold of you, say, just give me your insurance. I'm done dealing with y'all. My lawyer is going to contact your insurance guy, and we're going to get this settled.
Yeah. I was on a jury for an insurance claim, and that was the last jury I was ever in. I could not believe what the jury. Y'all think you get a fair trial with a jury? I'm telling you right now, you do not. Those people, it was a little old couple and a truck driver. Little old couple was driving a truck, pulling a travel trailer. The truck driver was driving a semi with a trailer on the back of it. The little old couple was hitting the side of his truck with their travel trailer, and he was trying to move over. There was a median, and it caused him to jackknife, totally destroyed his rig. And he's had all kinds of back issues ever since. The settlement was $250,000. That's not a lot of money.
No.
Well, these people in this jury with me were sitting there, but look at this poor little old couple, and they probably don't have any money. And this guy who just got married, he's probably just looking for money. And I'm just looking at him like, are you kidding me? These people didn't even know they hit this truck and caused him to wreck. They caught them finally in the next town up that's like 25 miles away and told them that they were in an accident way back. Get back there. And so it takes at least 10 signatures for it to go through once you decide on the. And me and another man would not sign that paper. So they had their 10 and they settled for $80,000 for the truck driver. And I was so mad. I was like, they were judging it by the way those people looked. And when we were standing at the courthouse door ready to go home, we were just standing there, and the little couple walks out and gets in a Lincoln Town car with the gold trim and all this. And I'm like, yeah, look at your poor little old couple. And the attorney for the couple came up to me and he said, I noticed your name wasn't on the paper. Do you want to tell me why? And I said, yeah, I'll tell you why. It wasn't there. They did not decide that right. That man deserved to get the full amount. And he just smiled at me and walked on. He knew.
He was the attorney for the old people.
Yes.
You should have asked him, say, if you'd have been the attorney for that truck driver, what would have happened?
Yeah.
I never made it past the questioning part of jury selection. Every time they ask those questions, I speak my mind and I don't get to go any further.
Yeah. And I learned to do that after that.
How to get out of it? It sounds racist as hell. All you got to do is ask them what race are these people.
Yeah. Well, I was number 1. You know how you get a number? Yeah, I was lucky number 1.
You're the first one in?
Yes. Because you always try to get the 200 number or close to it. Yeah. So they don't even get to you.
I learned that how to get out of jury duty by a marshal of the court. He told me, if you want to get out of it, all you got to do is when they call you up, whatever, to come in, if they do it over the phone, ask what race it is. If you come in the first time you get to ask anything to them, ask what race people are.
I didn't have to go that far. I don't remember what I said, but it didn't take much.
Well, there's a little card you can fill out and to get an exemption. And the question, I can't remember what it was. What makes you feel? And I said, I will not do any case that has any type of abuse whatsoever, period. And so I've never been called again, ever. And that was
Here a couple of years ago, they got a hold of me here. They called me on the phone about jury duty, and hell, the judge even called me, want to know why I wouldn't even come up there to talk to them. They said it's a good enough excuse being disabled, but you really want to know the full reason why. And I said, you know why? Because I don't trust our system.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, you're going to have it the way you want it to be anyway, and you're crooked as hell.
And but that's
I'll remember you.
a little added to that. If it was abuse, the abuser was automatically guilty. So that's probably the whole reason why they didn't call me back.
She's like, I'll remember you. I said, yeah, you know, the good thing about that is I can't be voted out, but you can.
Right.
They dropped that whole jury duty thing. They
I would not want to be a judge.
Night, just Scotty. Thank you for coming.
Good night, bud.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a judge. Well, I kind of would, because a judge can overrule the jury, right?
Do what?
Can't a judge overrule the jury?
Yeah, I think they can.
Because these people that I see getting out of jail for murder in 5 years, and then these other people I see staying in jail for 20 years for 3 or 4 joints. I'm sorry, that is just wrong. That is just totally wrong to me.
Catch you with a bag of weed, you spend 20 years, you shoot somebody and kill them, you do 3 to 5.
Yes. Is that only in Texas?
I've heard a lot of stories like that.
Mm.
Here it is legal, and there's people still in prison for it.
Yep. I just don't agree with that.
Kind of see it the same as the hospitals. You know, when something's all about profit instead of empathy, there's something
Mhm.
really wrong.
Yeah, but their code or whatever, I forget the name of it now, but they that went away 20 some years ago.
I don't know. I just see this whole system as a big old monster that keeps growing that has to feed itself. I mean, imagine if everybody just quit drinking and driving. There was no more need for the law enforcement of that. Well, they'd have to come up with another way to fill their quotas, and they do have quotas. You know,
Yes,
there's
for
as the
tickets, for
system
everything.
grows to deal with the problem, as they're curing the problem,
Yeah.
it starts to deplete their resources. So there's an oxymoron going on there. There's people just don't see that though. I mean, it's the same thing with the child support and stuff. That's generated to make the system money, not to help people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's their way of getting revenue.
Yeah, that's why it goes to the Attorney General, not your county clerk.
I've read it a long time ago and in many places that the hospitals get a certain amount of funding for each thing that they do now. I mean, if you test positive, they put you on one of those vents. If you die, they get
Yeah.
more money for that and funding.
It gets help dying, though. They get that REM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, there's just something wrong with the health, you know, whole health system is based on profit, not helping people.
Anything called a system isn't working. The judicial system, the healthcare system, all of it. And that's what, hopefully, all of that, we just need to start from the ground up and build a system, if that's what we want to call it still, that
You guys
works.
remember this one? You guys remember when he said, "Oh, and you can keep your family doctor"?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they were fining you if you didn't have insurance.
Yep.
Yeah, 9 words to never believe. We're here from the government and we're here to help.
Right.
Yeah, I seen a meme with an old Indian in there saying, "Go ahead, trust your government."
Oh, I'll show y'all something real quick before I close down. This touched my heart. I forgot I was going to do that a while ago. It's already ready. Y'all probably seen it today, as late as it is.
Is it late? I haven't looked at the clock. 1 o'clock here.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12 here. We got a hell of a delay.
Is it echoing horrible?
Uh-uh.
You see the police hiding him?
We stand on guard for thee. God keep our land. Glorious. We stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you,
Pretty sure I heard William Wallace in there screaming freedom.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what the whole world's after.
Thanks for having me, Bonnie.
You're welcome. Thank you
Y'all
for
have a
coming
good
in.
evening. I know I'm going to run into you somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Don't zap me.
See y'all soon.
Take
See you
care.
later, bud.
All right, Chuck. I guess we're going to shut it down. Oh, wait. Let me read Anna Marie's mind-blowing. Carry free. Okay, click on free. Yeah, I'll believe it in. Well, thank y'all for joining us tonight. That was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure, did she have a link or no?
I don't see a link with it. She's just saying watch free library watch disclosure. I think it's UNIFYD. I have a problem with D's and those. Yep, it's D.com free library.
Yeah, I see disclosure part 2.
Yeah. Well, I could put it up there where you can read it better.
See you later, Carl. See y'all later. Love y'all. Have a good night.
You too, Chuck. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. God bless y'all. Stay safe. Keep your eyes open. See you again soon.